welcome to this episode of Cardinal Film Bites. I'm your host, judge, and moderator, Mark Rollins. We have 3 competitors here today, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves. They're going to give their name, their major, and a fun fact about themselves. And we're going to start with this man right here.
Hi, I'm Nate Richard. I'm a sophomore here at Ball State, and I'm a TCOM video production major. And a fun fact about me is I have 2 dogs. One's a 14-year-old standard poodle named Chip, and another is a puppy who is 10 months old named Hazel, and I love her.
Oh,
she's my best friend.
Shout out to the dogs. We always welcome that here. We're going to move right across the way.
Hi, I am Trevor Michael Sheffield. I do the morning. I'm a sophomore. I'm a TCOM major. I do the morning news for WCRD on Tuesdays at 10 a.m. And I didn't bring paper because I want to save trees, or so I think.
That is always good. We enjoy saving trees. I mean, it would have been weird if you said I brought paper because I enjoy killing trees. So we appreciate your eco-friendliness here. And we're going to move to our last competitor right there.
Hello, my name is Devin Smith. I'm a freshman here at Ball State. I'm a marketing and political science major, and I can quote the entire movie of School of Rock.
That is a talent. Scholarship-worthy talent right there.
I know, right?
So, gentlemen, the way this is going to work is we're going to give you a question. You're going to have answers that you have prepared for that question. You get 1 minute to explain your answer, why you chose it, give an overview. Then we go straight into our 5-minute forum in which you build up your own arguments, tear each other's arguments down, and hope to come out on top, which we finish with a 30-second conclusion in which you take everything that's been said, wrap it up in a nice, neat little bow, and then I judge you for it. And you're being judged by a man in a ridiculous bow tie. So I don't know how that makes you feel, but I feel great. So today's question is, who is the best movie president? Which is different than what is the president's best movie, because then you could only judge Ronald Reagan, and none of his movies are good.
Well, I do know the current president's best movie, and even then it's one of the worst films of all time.
Oh, yeah, current president, too.
Can I say the title?
Yeah, sure, why not? We're not plugging it, I guess.
Ghosts Can't Do It.
Oh, that
was the title.
He was
That was
Home
a
Alone too.
Huh? He was in Home Alone, too.
That's a great movie.
Great movie. Oh, so he's got that going for him. Anywho, we're going to go straight into our questions. So we're going to start with Trevor, then we'll go Nathan, and finish up with Devin.
Okay. For best president in film, I chose President Hathaway from Monsters vs. Aliens because I couldn't think of a better president, except there are. It's President Stephen Colbert, folks. That's basically the primer of my argument. It's like we live in a post-nonsense age of politics, and so compared to my competitors, I feel that he is the best-case scenario in a situation where if we were faced with otherworldly threats or otherwise general nonsense, he is the most sane person in the room, despite the fact still killing everyone at the end.
That makes sense. And we'll go straight on to Nathan.
Okay, so mine is President Camacho from Mike Judge's Idiocracy. And let me just start. This is Terry effing Crews as the president. He's a former adult film star turned wrestler turned president. And that's just magical all on its own. All on its own. And, okay, he's more relevant today than ever because we have a reality TV star as the president. Okay, that's not a wrestler, but still, he works with the WWE. He defies stereotypes. I mean, no other movie president has had a president that's been a wrestler. And also, I'm just saying, it's Terry Crews. He's ripped. He could beat me up. I don't think any other movie president could beat me up except Terry Crews' President Camacho on Idiocracy. And I think that's a feat all on its own.
And we'll finish up with Devin.
All right, I have chosen Thomas J. Whitmore from Independence Day. And when deciding who is the best movie president, I think it's important to ask what makes a good president. And I think if you look at the best real presidents, like Lincoln and Reagan and Roosevelt, you see that they are active to the events that happen in their lives, and they're not reactive. They take action. And I think that Whitmore embodies this very well. He has a very good arc, first of all. In the beginning, he is just a fighter pilot turned president who's kind of down on his luck out of his depth in Washington. And then, aliens attack and blow up every major city and his wife. And then he becomes a badass and answers the call and becomes the fighter pilot he once was and leads the attack against the aliens and gives one of the most kick-ass speeches in all of movie history. So I think that's why he deserves the top spot.
All right, all right. Well, let's get straight into our 5-minute forum then.
Now, before
Trevor,
you,
I want to say something. No, let me.
I want to point
You
something.
need
I
to
want
be
to
more
point something.
confident with your answer.
Oh, I know I need to be
could
more
just
confident.
Tear
oh,
you apart
I know,
right
but
now.
me too. What are your president's policies?
Okay, he doesn't. He uses sports
What
drinks.
does your president's policies?
I'm saying it. He uses sports drinks instead of water.
And-
Okay.
Yeah, and.
He uses guns.
How does that benefit?
He wears a
How does that
medallion.
benefit people? All you say is that he's
What
just
has
muscles and that
President
he's a
Colbert-
wrestler and he's Terry Crews. And as great as that sounds, that does not a good president
What
make.
is-
At least mine actually fought for his country.
Okay,
he
what
shot
is-
a gun at a giant alien egg and played Axel F on a keyboard that does not actually exist because
What is-
keyboards do not have a funk button.
Okay, what is President Hathaway? What were his policies? What did he do? Nothing. He can't think of it. It's Stephen Colbert.
He was
as
the one who
president.
put those monsters
Okay,
out there to
Devin,
fight
we're
the
gonna
aliens.
tear him apart again.
No. I want to
Let's
tear you
just-
apart, actually. You say President Camacho, right? You say he puts sports drinks on plants. I don't know if your school had an agriculture program, but my high school did. And when you do that, the plants die.
Okay, yeah, but it's
so,
funny.
No,
It's
no.
for the
when
sake of
when we
comedy.
first meet President Camacho, the entire country's in crisis because they have no food and the corporate America has taken over everything. And so to fix this, he doesn't do anything active. He reacts and he's like, oh, okay, this new guy, Joe, he's going to handle everything. And guess what? He's going to do it in a week. That's what I want for my president,
And another thing,
Whereas
another
my guy takes action.
It's funny. It's funny.
No.
It's original.
If we're judging this
No, no.
on the
President
value
Whitmore,
of
what
best
are his
movie
policies?
presidents, that does not a good president make.
No.
And may I mention?
It's not. This is about
The only reason your
memorable.
president stopped watering things with fucking Gatorade was because a dumbass from our time was the smartest person in the room.
Okay.
At least the guy who
No,
helped
no,
make
no,
the
no,
monster
no, no,
fighting
no,
plan.
no, no.
All right, your thing's funny. Sure, it's funny.
It's memorable.
It's stupid.
Okay, yours has the speech. I can't think of anything from President Hathaway in Monsters vs. Aliens. Yours has a memorable speech, but I can't remember much of what Bill Pullman did in that movie. I can remember a lot of what Terry Crews did in Idiocracy.
And all we can remember
Sure.
about him is that he is a complete fucking moron.
No,
I can think-
it's
but
not- it's not-
President
this guy-
Hathaway
whoa.
is actually just Stephen Colbert. It's
And?
Stephen Colbert.
Whoa.
It looks like Stephen Colbert. That's all his personality.
And what's your argument?
Whoa. This category isn't about who's the most memorable. It's about who is the best movie president, who does the job the best. Your guy sucks at his job.
Okay,
He makes
his-
Donald Trump look like Abraham Lincoln.
Okay, here's yours. Yours doesn't do anything. He runs away and screams
He's the
for
one
monsters.
who approved the monsters
No,
versus
he runs
aliens
away
fight.
and
He's the one who
he's
attempted
screaming
diplomacy
at
and
the
then
people.
shot a gun at
He's
the egg.
screaming
It
at
didn't
monsters.
work, but at least he tried.
He doesn't do
No,
anything.
no,
President Camacho
you wanna talk
cares
about-
about his country.
You want to talk about a president who handles aliens well? Let's talk about Mr. Whitmore
Oh no,
here.
I will not deny that. He handled his aliens well, but
I
by
know.
that same token, mine had giant freaks and geeks against his monsters. You just had airplanes.
Exactly. We handled it cheaper and more efficiently.
We
I'm
got
gonna
our
team
freaks
up
for
with-
free.
Okay, here's the thing. President Camacho, he cares about his country still. He hires.
Does he?
Yes,
Does
he does.
he?
Does he?
He
Does
hires
he?
Luke Wilson to help save the country. That was his
No,
decision.
no. All right, that's a misrepresentation. He does not hire him. He threatens him. He takes him out of jail and he says, "Hey, man, if you don't help me, I'm going to throw your ass back in jail." That is not hiring.
He
That
still
is
cares.
threatening.
President care about
is
country.
a big beefy beefcake.
All
Your president-
has Stephen Colbert.
And
Your president,
That's it.
your president is a
Punch
loser
first.
who lets others do his things he should be doing for him.
he's a gym rat. All you have is
No.
a gym rat
All
in
right,
the
and
hideout.
your guy, he calls himself an idiot in one scene. He lets a general who's literally named W.R. Monger, Warmonger, order him around,
Because he knows his job.
and he does not handle the aliens. He says, "Oh, let the monsters do it," and then he backs out. My guy freaking leads the attack.
Good point.
Exactly.
But by that same
No,
token,
no, I'm not letting you
no,
talk.
no.
Okay,
No,
President
no, no,
Camacho, he does care about his country. He has charisma. He's super charismatic, man.
Yeah, and what about his
What?
job?
If you want to talk about charisma,
not
let's talk
talking
about
about-
this speech. We will not go quietly into
Okay,
the night.
that is a
we will
great
not go
speech.
down
That's
without
one
a
of my
fight.
favorite movies.
We're going to survive. We're going to live on.
But it's
That's
cliche.
iconic.
And
That's
mine's
memorable.
Stephen
Cliche.
Colbert,
That's
one of the
it.
funniest men on
That's
late night
all
television.
you have is it's Stephen Colbert. That's your only argument. Your opening argument lasted 15 seconds. That's
Listen,
it. You're
sometimes
just like,
the simple
oh, it's
things in
Stephen
life
Colbert.
matter most,
He
my friend.
fired
I don't
the gun.
need that many words to define my argument. You're
fires
over
the
here
gun.
defining him. He's a beefcake. He cares about his people. He filled the
He
ground
cares
with
about his
Drano.
people. Okay, here's another thing.
It's actually called Brondo.
Rondo.
Yeah, Brando.
Apologies,
I
friend.
just watched it this weekend again. I love that movie anyway. But
Oh no, I'm not denying the quality of the film. I'm denying the quality of your president.
But he's memorable.
I second that. Not
He's-
memorable.
Okay.
Well, wasn't that something? Let's go straight into our 30-second conclusions. We're going to start with Devin, then go Nathan, and finish with Trevor.
All right. My opponents has made this discussion seem as though this is a question of memorability. It is not. It is a question of who gets the job done the best, who has the most memorable role as our nation's highest office, who does it the best. And I'm sorry, but Campacho, the pro wrestler, does a crappy job. Your guy who handles an alien invasion does a crappy job. My guy, he has the guts, he has the skills, and he has the kick-ass speech-giving skills that warrant him having the top spot.
I'm going to argue against that. Okay, best movie president. We are not living in the world of those movies. We're not. Okay, we see what they do in the movies, but we don't see what they're doing besides that. I'm thinking it's about the memorability, just the likability, and how often they maintain into our pop culture. And I think President Camacho is still brought up, especially with like Donald Trump and everything. I honestly think so. I think has a lot of charisma. He cares about his country, and he's just really funny.
Gentlemen, in our post-sheer nonsense age of politics, I realize I may be putting my argument again, but Your Honor, I feel that President Hathaway is the best representation of a best-case scenario in our age of politics. If we're viewing this from the perspective of an outside world, I feel that with what he has done, or lack thereof, I feel that he is the best possible scenario if we were to have a president who may not be the smartest, but by that same token, may not be the best. Ultimately, still cares about his people and does what is right.
Any facts to check Vaughn?
Nope, we're good.
That's what I was afraid of. Okay. So, my decision. I got to give first place to Devin, second place to Trevor, third place to Nathan. I'm sorry. Devin, I think you made the best
Disappointed.
case
Thank you.
that
I think I did too.
that President Whitmore was an excellent leader and an inspiring president in a time of utmost crisis. Trevor, I think you made a very similar case for President Hathaway. I think the only thing is that he lacked the common man follow through that President Whitmore did. But you made a strong argument that yes, he did fight for his country and did everything that he could.
He fired a big gun.
Yes, he did. Straight into an alien robot's mouth.
And who knew? Who knew they ate lead after all?
Who knew they? And Nathan, I'm afraid that President Camacho.
Long live Terry Crews.
But not Camacho.
No, and Camacho. I would vote for him.
I'm afraid he
that's
did
what's
more
wrong with our
harm
country.
than good in his presidency than the other two, and so that's why he could not qualify as best movie president.
I understand.
So, Terry, I'm glad you do, because I don't know if I fully do. But but thank you. Let me reiterate. Devin, first place. Trevor, second place. And Nathan, third place. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Cardinal Film Fights. Be sure to media that social up on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I'm Mark Rollins, and this was Cardinal Film Fights.